Hello and welcome to my trading video. As I was just saying before, I was just kind of waiting for an opportune time to enter the market. As you can see here, we've kind of had a flow-on effect going here. So, sorry, you can't see it. My bad. As you can see, just a sell-off to start the day, and then we're coming back up, and coming back another one. You know, as you can see these points here, how they're just kind of taking highs and lows. It can usually give you a pretty good indication of where your highs and where your lows are coming from. I'll just show you the interesting part here is how the ES is going at the moment. As you can see, it's kind of just popping. It's very kind of different to how the ER2 is going. So it sort of just popped up from this kind of breakout zone here. Bang! Look at this volume. Very good volume, and here it just kind of consolidated, and then bang, came up again. You're probably asking me why I didn't get involved here. Well, I don't actually trade the S&P that often. I mostly stick to Russell, just to stick with the stuff I know. I probably should trade it more than I do, but through it as well. My own fault. Situations like this, but anyway, it probably doesn't pull back. It's probably not my kind of system. As you can see, it's kind of trending. And it's difficult to kind of buy a good pullback for what I'm looking for here. So you could call this the pullback here, but you just don't know. It could have a little more kick in it, and it could come down here, and it's hard to keep your stops tight. And you get kicked down to like this kind of area here, and then bounce. And if I entered here, you know, I'd be in trouble. I get stopped out, even though I was right, that kind of thing. So I just kind of avoid those kind of trades unless they really kind of appeal to me. As you can see, we're just popping. So much going on. Like the banking sector is looking pretty flat at the moment. Not a whole lot going on. The sectors aren't really interesting. The healthcares are killing it though, as you can see. Nothing more to say. We're having big breakouts here. ES is kind of breaking out too, so it's getting back. It might not be a bad spot to kind of bait. The problem is, I'll just bring that back. The problem is just the volume picture that's going on at the moment. We are seeing some good volume on the up kicks here, even though we had a big kind of sell-off to start the day. As prices rise, we're seeing more volume and more interest in it. So people are kind of panicking, thinking, is this going to be kind of the cheapest we'll actually find the market? So it's going to be pretty hard to short into that. At the same time, there's not really a good entry point thus far to kind of go long. I briefly thought about going long here, but the problem is you've got this kind of I guess barrier just here where it's really easy to show you on market profile. As you can see, here's the last couple of days, and you can just see where it is right now, actually breaking out. We just have a lot of traffic in here in terms of volume. As you can see, the volume just here, it's just repelling, and just, you know, every time it looks like it's going to get above, it comes back down, and it's just kind of been rejected a few too many times. You might be asking, well, that means that it's due to kind of break out, but not necessarily. It's never due. It's just history is more likely to repeat itself than not, and even though there's a bit of volume in this breakout, it probably wasn't quite enough to kind of make me jump out. And it's been a little bit too positive too. You don't want to see a breakout that looks too good, because then you're just getting the short-term momentum. It could just be the momentum traders piling on and, you know, giving you a kind of false lead. You want just a steady, nice build-up, a solid base. It's kind of like snow on a mountain. You don't want this huge dump and then nothing. You want this nice base to form, and then bang, and then you want the nice snow, and then you get your great powder, and you can have a great weekend of skiing or whatever. The market's not too dissimilar. You don't want to like screw it up and just you don't want to be hot and cold, because you won't be able to you won't be able to enjoy the whole week, because if you just have one big dump and that's it, it'll just all melt away and it's gone. I think that analogy worked okay. I just made that up just then. But, so as you can see, I'm just going to pause it now. Might be able to find a good trade later, and I'll see what happens. I'll keep you updated no matter what. Right, bye. Okay, just returning now. As I said before, I'd like to see a nice pullback first before I enter into any markets, and right now I'm seeing a pretty good one, so I'm actually going to be entering.
Order filled.
Okay, I've just been filled at 7,400 exactly for a long trade. Maybe asking what the hell am I thinking? That's a good question, but basically we just have an early day kind of rejection of the lows here. As you can see here, price just trended down, became rejected, and just started coming back up to where it opened at. Through here we just had, everyone was kind of a little pause, and bang, we had a nice upswing. It was on a very positive kind of volume look. If you look at the delta, we'll show it to you again. As you can see, it was a nice kind of positive move with a lot of buyers getting involved through the thing. So even though it's pulling back at this stage, that's okay, because that just means maybe a few short-term traders are kind of just taking profits at this point. I've set my stop to just below here, so at 38.80. So if it does get kicked through this part here, it's probably a bad sign for the trade. Also, I am fading off. Where are we? I am fading off an extreme here. Remember how I said, look at these points. We've got one there. Got one there. Got one there. Got one there. We got one there. What is that telling you when they're sticking out there? It works like magic. Honestly, when you combine these systems together, by themselves, they're not tradable. They're not tradable ideas. They're kind of noise. It's difficult to kind of make out anything. You put them together, work them together, both as confirmation for each other, and they all work like magic. You work the market profile in with the tick, with a little bit of sectors just to make sure you don't get caught off guard, and of course the most important, price, which, like I said before, price has just been rejected here pretty hardcore, and it's just come back up, and we're seeing it making higher highs and higher lows. And once again here, if my trade holds true, we will be making a higher high. So now we just had an extreme coming off here, which has shown us that it's a good place to enter. And even though the trade doesn't look that great at this stage, and maybe I could have held off and it would have had a final push, and I might be able to get in a little bit better. That's okay. I'm still happy with 7,440 at this stage, and I'm not going to trade this trade. And look at this. Look at the volume down here. We're having big positive volume up here, declining volume down this way. S&P looking very good for another breakout again. I probably feel slightly better about this one because we